So it's in the low 60s here in San Diego, which apparently freaks everyone out. The heat is on in this condominium because Teresa gets cold. We're going to talk more forum talk tonight. Going to answer some emails. It's episode 32 of Coast to Coast Pinball. Thank you for listening. Let us go. Welcome to Coast to Coast Pinball. My name is Nate Shivers. It's episode 32 of Coast to Coast Pinball. And of course, this is a podcast. It is a commentary, and I'm a man out of quarters because I spent them all on pinball. Get it? Got it. So, howdy. It's October. It's Wednesday night, October 9th. It's kind of windy and rainy in San Diego. I don't get this opportunity very often. Usually it's just nice out. So tonight it's not nice out, and I like it. Teresa's out walking the dog because I didn't want to do it, and I had a podcast to record, and that's what I'm doing. I got a lot of feedback from the last show. I had lots of little notes because I guess at the end of the show I asked specifically, what did everyone think of this show? And if you did not listen to episode 31, I'll give you the very brief overview. I basically just went to the Pinside forums and clicked through each subforum and talked about whatever was there. And it worked out okay. And almost all of the feedback was very positive. I did have one email that was sort of positive, but also said I would much prefer in-depth talk about games, etc., etc., etc. And I understand that. I understand that maybe a current events type thing is not always for everybody, but there's only so many games to talk about, and it takes a lot of effort, and I don't want to be wrong a bunch, because I will get called out. So sometimes I'd rather just talk current events. I think that it's nice to have a running commentary on what's going on in this crazy hobby of ours. So one person did email me, or I think Facebook messaged me actually, and asked me if I thought I could do it often, though, if it was feasible that I could just do entire shows based on the forum. And I sort of took that as a challenge. So we're going to do some more of that tonight. However, if you've been on the Pinside forums today, you will know that there is a new look to the forums on Pinside. Robin posted this morning, Robin being one of the owners and founders of Pinside, and I'm going to read you his post that I was welcomed to this morning with. Hi there, Pinside. After months of hard work, we have finally migrated the old site to a new server. This was needed for several reasons. We were running out of disk space on our old server, and we didn't have enough RAM to keep all of you happy. I won't go into the tech side of everything there, but what he's basically telling you is new server, it's faster, they've got more storage, things should run better, we shouldn't get those slowdowns that we sometimes get. Then in his second post, he talks about what's new. So the design, lots of design tweaks. The page is a little bit wider. Stuff still works fine on an iPad, he says. We're good. They don't have a mobile site launched yet. With over 100 new topics created daily on the Pinside forums, Robin felt they needed a better way to categorize the posts without changing the general use of the site. So his solution was to add a lot of subcategories. So instead of just having all pinball now, because what it was before, it was like last episode we did all pinball, stern pinball, Jersey Jack pinball. Well, now if you go into all pinball, there are 5 unique categories inside the subcategory of all pinball. There is just all pinball, all clubs, members only clubs, like when people say, WWF Royal Rumble members only club. It's for people who own the game to come in there and talk about the game, that type of thing. Then there's all game room talk, all modding, and transportation questions. So it drills down really far because that's a really specific subforum, transportation questions, which right now, if I look in that subforum, there are 2 posts. It's kind of funny going into some of these. There's literally 2 posts. I went into one earlier just kind of browsing around. I think it was the Skit B pinball? No, it wasn't that one because looks like they have 5 or 6 posts in there already. Maybe it's Highway. So under manufacturer subforums, there's now breakdowns for Bally Williams, Stern Pinball, Jersey Jack Pinball, Highway Pinball, Skit B Pinball, Multimorphic, and then the general boutique pinball. And I don't know if I totally am on board with those subforums. I think it's odd to have a Bally Williams subforum, but not a Gottlieb forum, not a Data East forum, because there is no current Bally Williams, but I'm not totally sure that that's the optimum way to do that yet. I think a Stern subforum is fine, because there's lots of news and things to talk about with Stern specifically. Jersey Jack, definitely lots of stuff there. Anything past that to me is either kind of classic, old, or new and boutique. Because I would say it's hard to not say Skip B, Highway, and Multimorphic aren't still kind of boutique in their own right. No knock on them. I just think that's kind of where they fall. So, but anyway, the main idea is here: instead of having 7 or 8 subforums, now each of those 7 or 8 or whatever it is, it's actually 9. Has lots of different subforums in the subforums. So Pinside changed today. The look changed also. They added a bunch of colors. It almost looks like Dr. Mario pills next to the name of each forum title, with the one side showing you a star saying that you've not opened this topic yet, or a green spot with a number in it telling you how many posts have been there have posted since you last read this, or a grayed out 0 telling you that there's been no new posts since you've been in the post. Very handy when you're browsing, see what you've read before. And then the other side of the little Dr. Mario pill looking icon gives you the subforum with a color coding for what it is. So a little hard to get used to at first, but I'm catching the hang of it today. And then the other side's sort of the same stuff. How many posts there are, and then how long since the last post. So the site does seem to be much quicker, running faster. I think it's another point towards the resurgence in the interest in the hobby that Pinside needed to upgrade their forum and go that route. So that's cool. They redid some other stuff, the profile stuff, your points that you're awarded. I actually, honestly, for as much time as I spend on Pinside, I don't fully understand the point system at all. You get a little name under your username, like Pinball Addict or Pinball Master or Senior Pinhead, and then you have a points awarded for different, I think, for posting and things like that. I don't totally understand how that works, but I'm sure some of you do, and yay! So let's get into some other stuff here in the show. What are we going to do?
Getting in bed with Teresa.
Hey, Teresa.
Hey, Nate.
Guess what it is?
It's the thing. It's the segment.
The segment?
I have a segment.
Do you know what it's called?
Getting in bed with Teresa.
It is, because guess where we are right now?
Well, I don't need to guess. I know where we are. We're in bed.
That's a good point.
I finally caught you.
So, we played some pinball at Disneyland.
I know. How, it's kind of weird. Like, you're at Disneyland and you played pinball?
But the one game was actually titled Disney's Tron Legacy?
Yeah, and it was the awesome one with the neon lights.
That's the limited edition.
It was very cool.
So what'd you think of Cyclone?
Did I play that?
It was the other one, the one next to it. Or did I play it and you didn't play it?
No,
we both played it.
I don't really remember it very much.
And you thought it was slow.
It was really slow.
Do you like the theme park idea for a pinball machine?
I do. I do. I think someone could do something really cool with that.
They did more.
Oh, wait. They could do a ramp with a upside down loop in it.
I don't think that's ever been done.
See? Right here. Getting in bed with Teresa.
Did Roller Coaster Tycoon go upside down? I don't think it does. It'd be hard to get the ball to stay on.
Make the ramp magnetic.
Magnetic ramp, but the ball would stick to it.
No, the force just magnetic enough to keep it there.
Are you an engineer? Do you know this?
I'm the furthest from an engineer that you could possibly get.
Is this your new skill? You're going to start designing pinball machines?
I think that I have some really good ideas, actually. So yeah.
Interesting.
I told you about one of my ideas months ago, and you said, "Oh yeah, we'll talk about it."
We'll talk about it. What was it? Go for it. Here, go. Here, you have a segment.
It was King Arthur.
King Arthur.
Yeah, and all the.
Would it be like Madness with King Arthur?
No, it wouldn't be Madness. Stop it.
Would it be set in medieval times?
Stop it.
Stop
it would
what?
be Knights of the Round Table.
Did they have trolls in the King Arthur stories?
No, actually, they didn't.
Dragons?
No.
Catapults?
I'm sure in some King Arthur story somewhere, but I'm talking about Arthurian legend, the different nights, and each night has a quest.
Are there kings?
No.
Castles? Wait, there's no
just
kings in...
There's just King Arthur. Well, here's the thing.
King Arthur and the Knights of the Round...
My point is that you could do King Arthur, or you could just do Knights of the Round Table, and Arthur could be one of the knights. And each knight has a different quest, and each quest is a different mode in the game. Yeah. And there's like a Holy Grail.
A Holy Grail?
Because that's one of the quests. Like Sir Percival goes on a quest.
Is Merlin there?
Well, that's the question. Because that's in Medieval Madness, I think we would stay away from the Merlin stuff and stick with strictly the actual,
Trolls.
English. You're going to make me mad because I think this is a really good idea.
Oh, well, fantastic.
I think that you think it should.
I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see your Whitewood.
What's that?
Don't worry about it.
No, what is it?
Nothing. It's pinball speak. It's when they design a game. Don't worry about it.
I actually drew something out months ago.
Where is it? Let's see it.
I have no idea because you buried the story.
I did not bury anything.
You did too. You said, "Oh yeah, we'll talk about it." And
you've been on this show tons of times since then.
You were gonna give me a forum.
A forum?
Yeah.
This is your forum. What are we doing?
I don't know. You usually have some sort of question for me when you come in.
I don't have any question. I do have a comment though. I got an email today. Somebody who listened to the last show and saw that we went to Disneyland.
Yeah.
They let us know that across from Indiana Jones the ride, there was an Indiana Jones game in one of the shops there.
Oh, fun.
I don't know if it's still there, but we'll find out.
Again
we will find out this weekend with my family. Yes.
That'll be fun. Yeah, we have season passes, so we can hop up there. Anytime to play pinball.
No.
I just think that's weird. I think it's really funny that at Disneyland, with all the stuff to do, that we are searching for pins.
I wasn't searching for pins. They found me.
They kind of did. What had we just ridden?
Space Mountain.
Yeah, we walked
What was your favorite ride? Small World?
Oh my God.
Roger Rabbit?
No and no. I think that Space Mountain will forever and always be my favorite, but because it's Halloween time... Haunted Mansion was really great.
That's good. Is there anything else you'd like to say to everyone?
And Tower of Terror. And it was really fun watching all the Twilight Zone. And I'm like, and you had Twilight Zone. Remember that? I said that.
You did. I was there.
You're not being nice. You're
what
not
are you
laughing at
about?
any of my fun things.
What?
Or thinking it's fun or nice.
It's totally fun and nice.
You're looking at me like I'm crazy.
No, it's like you need to go to bed. And the cat's made her debut on the show.
Cisco Kitty.
Yeah.
She gets mad when we're not near her.
This is not domestic issues with Teresa, Coast to Coast domestic issues.
I didn't think you
What
were
are you
gonna
doing?
Do that this time. You do that every time.
All right, well, say goodnight, Teresa.
Wait. What were you going to ask me when you came in?
Nothing.
Oh.
Just want to say hi. People wonder where you are. I get emails about that. Where's Teresa? I'm like, she's in the box that I lock her in all day long. What do you think she is?
I'm teaching children. I'm molding young minds.
We didn't need a real answer.
Warping
It's sort
them?
of rhetorical.
Oh, what? See, that's what I'm talking about. You're being mean and now you're smiling because you like your meanness.
Okay.
Ugh.
I've been attacked. All right, we are off the rails, Teresa.
Okay.
Say goodnight.
Good night.
Bye. You see, we have to do it that way with her. Because in theory, in the abstract, she's all about being on this podcast. She really loves it. She's one of the people that told me to start this podcast. We took a road trip last holidays where we drove in 12 days we drove 4,300 miles. We drove from San Diego to Tulsa, Oklahoma for Christmas. And from Tulsa, Oklahoma, we drove to my mother's house, which is about an hour west of Boise, Idaho, just over the Oregon border. And then to Las Vegas and back, all in like 12 days. And during that stretch, I force-fed her a bunch of pinball podcasts that I was listening to at the time. I think we listened to the Pinball Podcast, a couple episodes of Spooky Pinball Podcast, because I wanted her to hear that. And I think that's when I first really started going back and listening to all the Game Room Junkies. And she was like, she was really into it, more so than I would have expected, and she said to me, I think you should do your own podcast. And I had already totally thought of it and even sort of planned it out a little bit. And I said to her, I would call it Coast to Coast Pinball, and we were just thrilled with the idea. Took me another 6 months to actually start it, but that's kind of where that all came from. So she is totally into the pinball thing. She's a pretty good player for someone who doesn't play a lot and never really was into it deep. I mean, she picks up stuff pretty quick. Her skills are not bad. In fact, in Disneyland, on the Tron LE, she beat me. No surprise there. She'll never beat me in Twilight Zone. Never will happen. So, what else should we do? Should we check the mailbag? Let's do that. Let's check the mailbag.
Check the email.
All right, these are out of order because I emailed myself a Word document with all of these emails. First email. Hi, Nate. Do you plan on doing more in-depth reviews? I'm hoping to hear your in-depth commentary on Twilight Zone, since you seem to love that game so much. Thanks for giving a pinball trucker something to listen to as often as you do. Bruce from Jackson. Jackson where? There's like Jacksons all over the place. Jackson, Mississippi, Jackson somewhere else. Florida. There's lots of Jacksons. Bruce, thank you for the email. Yes, I will do more in-depth reviews. In fact, I went and played a pinball game at lunch of my work the other day that's local to where I work, and I don't want to say what it is yet because I don't like to tip my hat. I like it to be a surprise. But it's a fairly recent... I'll say this. It's a Stern game. And I played a bunch of games on it, realized how little I had ever played that game, although I know a lot about the game. I just hadn't played it that much. Played a lot on it. I'm going to go back on another lunchtime and play again. It's at a pizza place local to where I work, and I'm going to play some more of this game, and we will do highlights and lowlights on a certain Stern, very popular Stern game in the not-too-distant future. So I appreciate that. I hadn't thought of that. Truckers love satellite radio and podcasts and things like that, so hopefully there's some trucker pinball guys out there. I appreciate it. Thank you very much, Bruce. Some of these are confusing me if I've read them or not. Friend of the show, Joe, wrote, I can't believe you haven't seen Tron Legacy yet. Turn in your geek card now. Well, Joe, Teresa holds the geek card in this relationship. He also wrote, I like the Dude Abides dub at the end of the show. Not sure if you've seen it yet, but College Humor made a parody featuring Tron and The Big Lebowski. You mean I wasn't the first person to listen, because I just listened to that clip at the end of Tron Legacy and thought Jeff Bridges just sounded like the dude to me, because The Big Lebowski is one of my favorite movies of all time, and it just sounded like the dude in a sci-fi movie. And I don't know, if you know what I'm talking about, you listen all the way through all my episodes, because sometimes there'll be little things stuck on the end, and Joe heard that and he dug that, so cool. So I wasn't the first person to make that connection. Couldn't be. It was just too obvious. So thank you, Joe. Let's see. Shane, just checked your IFPA, saw your results. That's the International Flipper Pinball Association. You finished the same as me in my first IFPA sanctioned event. So that was a 5th place finish for yours truly. I told you it wasn't that hard, Shane wrote to me. He said, just make sure this isn't the last one you enter. No, it won't be. In fact, I was supposed to play last night at the High Dive with the same group, and I just couldn't get away. Teresa and I are in full-on, tidy up the place mode for family coming this weekend. So we just started doing that. We were watching a TV show called Orange is the New Black, which is a Netflix show, which is really excellent. So I just didn't get out to the tournament. Kind of bummed I missed it. But who knows, we could wind up playing each other someday, especially if I go through my dream fantasy plan to fly up to Pinburg next year. Although after buying high speed, it may require some creative financial wrangling. I understand that, man. It's expensive to try and do all of this. This hobby's not cheap, but between buying games and wanting to go to these big events, I'm so bummed Expo is just right around the corner and I can't go. Pinburg's definitely on my calendar. So, yes, Shane, maybe we will play against each other. Or maybe my dream of Team Coast to Coast, where we're all playing for the greater good, whatever that good is. Maybe we'll play together, sort of. Not that pinball really works that way, but I've got ideas. So, anyway, thank you for the email. Let's see. That was another email from someone asking me to rename the episodes. I'm sorry they get all tweaked out when you download them. There's not much I can do about it right now. Let's see. Devin wrote me a long email. Thanks for the show. You're doing easily my favorite pinball podcast. The style, the tone, the content are exactly what I'm looking for. I also travel a fair bit. Did I read this already? Maybe not. Alright. I also travel a fair bit and play pinball on location, so your stories ring true. When I get back to North America, I'm going to feel like I'm in pin heaven. Right now, though, I'm in Australia. Yeah, I read this. Lame on me. Well, in any case, Devin from Brisbane wrote me this really nice email talking about AC/DC being on location a lot, and I'm pretty sure I already read this in episode 30. That's the problem with doing these late at night. Sometimes your host forgets what he read, and I try and always archive these. And if on some off chance that I only had maybe read that to Teresa, because she always wants to hear the emails I get, sorry, Devin, but thank you for the email. I do appreciate it. Kevin wrote me, a listener from Japan, and love the show, and I'm always pumped when I see iTunes loading up another one of your episodes. Anyway, a while back you did a rundown on your thoughts as to whether or not a Medieval Madness was actually worth $12,000 or not, and left it up to the listener, which I thought was very fair of you. I was wondering, therefore, if you could do the same on a couple of other usual most popular suspects, the Addams Family and Twilight Zone. They have very varying price structures, and would love to get your take on them. I'm going to buy an Addams Family here from a guy who makes game apps for mobile phones, as well as maintains his own and his customers' pinballs. He used to work for Williams, apparently, but he is Japanese and in country, so I trust him to give it to me in as good a shape as he can reasonably do. He gives me the price, which he put in parentheses and said between you and me, so I won't read that out loud. And he says, best wishes for the 50-episode promise you made last week. Let me clarify that promise. I did not mean, somebody else asked me about this, that I would do 50 new episodes between now and Christmas, or the end of the year. I'm going to get to episode 50 by that point. I'm fairly sure I can do it. So, actually, I didn't answer Bruce's question about Twilight Zone, if I'd ever go in depth on that one. I'm going to. Oh, trust me. Twilight Zone may get its very own episode. I just can't. I think it deserves it. I think it deserves a full 40 minutes of me worshiping what I think is the greatest pinball game of all time. So, pricing. I watch Twilight Zone prices quite a bit because I know what I paid for mine, and I like to see, kind of what range they're going for. I kind of have to have a little bit of a cop-out answer here because Kevin's in Japan, and I have no idea what the landscape is like in Japan as far as how many games are over there, from what eras, what kind of shape they're in, is there anybody maintaining them? Now, if you're sort of basing it on American prices, the price that he put in here is a little bit more than I paid, and I thought I paid a little bit more than I needed to if I had been more patient. However, I bought a really well-kept game with a few cool mods that had no problems really whatsoever, with a pretty unfaded cabinet and a nice back glass. So the price he's giving me doesn't seem out of the realm. There's lots of games going for more than what he listed he was going to buy. Oh, I'm sorry. Is he buying Addams Family Twilight Zone? See? He's buying Addams Family. Sorry. Kind of the same thing goes. They're sort of close in price. Let's do a live look into the Boston pinball thing, because I have a feeling right now that this year Addams Family may be selling for more than Twilight Zone, which I will be able to tell you very quickly. Of course, they use Addams Family as their demo game here. So the Addams Family, the average price this year on eBay on an Addams Family with 16 units sold, so that's a nice big sample, is just over $5,500. And Twilight Zone is $5,400. So they're right about the same. That's what I thought. They sell for around the same price. Yeah, and that's average. I see there's a couple Twilight Zones and Addams Family here in Southern California on both Craigslist and eBay, and those avenues to buy games for well over $6,000. So I figure you can probably find one less than that. I saw Twilight Zone recently sell locally for $4,600. So giving that you're in Japan, giving you that this Addams Family is in good shape, and you trust the guy, know the guy, the price that you threw out there to me, Kevin, is probably right in line. That for a top-notch game in your area. Do I think they're worth that? Well, I think they're some of the best pinball machines ever made. I think they have to me, they're, there's that run of games from Williams, Bally Williams there, that they got the play down to where it's interesting to play the games, where the shots are interesting. There's lots of toys. There's stuff that keeps you busy. There's a little bit more depth to the games starting in that era, 92 and on, into some of the games, I should say, not all of them, clearly, but specifically those two games have that depth and kind of that sense of completion as you go through and the modes and everything. I think that adds a lot to them. Both of them have that theme, and I sort of talk about that theme as sort of being a kind of a darker, a cool, dark theme where it's something that will appeal to young and old. It's not the Flintstones, but it's not, I don't know, like Big Guns or something like that. It's sort of, it meets there in the middle where a lot of people relate to it. And, they're innovative. They're innovative games. There's a lot of each of them out there. So I have to think that if there was only 3,000 or 4,000 Twilight Zones ever built, the price would be through the roof on that game. Addams Family even more so. There's more of those games, and Addams Family really caught, I think, the average arcade goer's imagination at that time period. So do I think they're worth it? I bought one, so I guess that means I do. Sometimes I step back and look at, a few games in a room and think, man, that's a lot of money sitting in games. But there's something magic about pinball, and that's why I'm here, and that's why you're here, right? So yes, I do think they're worth it.
Forum static.
I can't help myself with all these new sub-forums. How fun will this be? So what we're going to do here is we're going to jump into the Pinside forum. We're going to click on All Pinball. And the top posting on the All Pinball forum, the main one, is where we're going to start right now. And it is titled Pinball Expo Rumors by Pork Chop Express, which Pork Chop Express was on my show. So another poster who was on the call-in show, and he posts, so Pinsiders, what are the big rumors for this year's expo? Pinsiders with the secret knowledge, we need your help. We know we want the goodies. Let us in the goodies room. Please spill the beans. And then he posted a picture of Campbell's pork and beans being spilled over, and I find Campbell's pork and beans absolutely disgusting, so I can't even really look at that. A lot of jokes. The Medieval Madness rumor was shot down a few days ago by Jersey Jack. Actually, on the forum, Jack got on there and said, we are not building that game. That is not happening. We will not do it. So then I think a lot of people are looking to see, Star Trek limited editions that are playable, updates on some of the recent releases like Metallica and Star Trek Wizard of Oz, things like that. What else? Let's see if any of these actually pop up and look sort of real. I don't know. It's a good thread. It's a thread I'm actually very interested in. I wish I had read this thread before I jumped on here and started talking about it. So, I think there's a lot of buzz behind the remake idea right now. So we'll see if anybody pops up at Expo and says, hey, we're doing remakes. I know a smaller company, we talked about it, could pop up and say, hey, here comes Attack from Mars, or here comes Medieval Madness. So that'll be big news to those of us who are watching that, if that were to happen. So, all right, moving on. Let's go through the subforums of the All Pinball subforum. I think that'll be fun to do here. I just got to navigate it properly. The next is All Clubs, and I see this thread up here a lot, and I'm not going to go into it. I'm just going to mention it. Is the original Wisconsin Minnesota thread? Don't you know? By Rusty Lizard. It has 2,400 posts on it. What on earth are they talking about in here? Let's go to the last page of the original Wisconsin Minnesota thread. On page 50, I know some of these guys. Don't start a land war with Asia. Don't incur the wrath of a bunch of Wisconsin pinsiders. They aren't a club. They're a vicious gang. Yeah, I'm all up for regional talk definitely doesn't fit in any machine. Oh, they're talking about breaking the sections up into regional areas in the subforums. More subforums. Everyone wants more subforums. I don't know. Do we really need that? I don't think we need to totally do that. I think we're breaking it up too far at that point. So back into All Pinball. All Game Room Talk is a subforum. So my visit with J-Pop 8613. Very cool. So somebody got to hang out with John Papaduke, it sounds like. This is a poster named Red Eyes from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. This is a month ago that he posted this, so this is not new news. He said, "Let me start by saying this is not an update with picks and secrets. Current owners are kept up to speed by John's online updates or visits." John Papaduke is doing a zombie pin, and I have not kept up real deeply in what John's doing. I believe Zidware Pinball USA is that what we're calling it? I'd have to look it up again. But I know that he's going to be doing a retro atomic zombie Adventureland pinball machine. I think there was an Alice in Wonderland concept also thrown out there, and then possibly a third, and I don't recall what the third was called. So John Papaduke is one of those designers that has just put out some really fantastic designs over the years, and the fact that he's sort of branched out on his own to kind of do it himself is interesting. You know, how do you do it? How are you going to do it? If you look at, he designed some of my favorite games. I mean, Theater Magic, Tales of the Arabian Nights, amazing games. Circus Voltaire, I love Circus Voltaire. So it'd be very interesting to see what he can come up with. I don't think we've seen any photos of any actual games yet, though. I don't believe. So I don't know. I'll dig a little deeper into that, and I'll keep you updated on the podcast, because that's a good one to follow. I'm glad I read that. I know people are basically signed up and ready to buy whatever he makes. So I'll read through that thread some more, and we'll give you a little more update. So let's keep jumping around this forum. It's sort of fun just to see what the pin side folk are talking about. All modding. Pinbits Tron ramp illumination kit review. So this is an illumination kit that Pinbits has released that gives you the ability to light up the ramps with those really cool tube-like light effects like the LE Tron has. Really makes a huge difference. This is one of the, visually, when you look at a Tron LE versus a Tron Standard or Pro, it's a huge, totally changed the way the game looks. And I've looked at the videos of this mod. I think they've been working on this for quite a while, and there's some people getting a little upset, and I think some got leaked out to somebody who put them up on eBay. I don't know all the politics inside of it. I will tell you, I think it's like a $400 kit, and it's awesome. So there's a long thread on this with a lot of different people chiming in about when they get it. It's not an easy thing to do. It's not just throwing up lights around some ramps. You got to tie this into with the game. So I don't know. Very cool. Check that out if you own a Tron. If I owned a Tron, this mod would be happening. I've actually read people post it is singularly the best mod ever made for a pinball machine. So that's very, very cool stuff. Let's jump into another forum, shall we? And like I said last time, there's some of these forums I shouldn't. I think it's really funny. There's a transportation questions subforum, and there's 2 in there, and then people are talking about shipping from different shows and whatnot, so we don't need to get into that. Let's see what else we got in the forums. The market subforum has a bunch of subforums, one of which is buying advice. And the top topic in buying advice right now is from Sawyer Family AZ in Mesa, Arizona, where I spent lots of time. I went to college at Arizona State, so I lived in Tempe. Looking to add a third pin to the collection. It will be combined with Iron Man and Indy 500. And he describes his Iron Man as fast, short, and unforgiving. with an Indy 500 described as fast and shallow. I'm open to any pins, but the budget is $3,500 max. Both Transformers Pro and Shadow are available locally, and I am considering. Any input? Hard to get a feel for how people feel about Transformer with the new code. Shadow is a machine I've been looking at for a long time, but I really enjoy pop bumpers and rollover lanes, and there are none on that. Any input? Well, in my opinion, if I could have Transformers Pro or Shadow for my house, my home, I'm probably buying the Shadow. The argument I would make against Shadow here for me is sitting next to the two pins I currently have in the home. I have Twilight Zone and Judge Dredd here right now. And if I were to add Shadow, I think Shadow sort of has some elements of Twilight Zone to it. It has sort of the layout has a similar vibe to it with the small upper left play field and just kind of the general feel. It's sort of similar. And to be able to add a Transformers Pro, which is, a modern Stern game, would be appealing to me just for the feel of it. So I could play a lot on that modern feel with their flipper feel and everything. But he already owns an Iron Man. And if I owned Iron Man and I owned Indy 500, I would really lean Shadow. I think Shadow would be the nice mix there. I think the theme would be good. I think the play style would be good. I think the new awesome alternate translate is so cool. It's actually posted in that thread. I don't know. That's the way I would lean. I would go Shadow all day long. And here's the other thing. I think the Shadow's going to probably keep climbing a little bit in price. The Shadow will probably be, $10K by Christmas. No, I'm kidding. The Shadow will be, up over $4,000 constantly at some point soon. I think Transformers Pro is probably going to go down a little more, honestly. I think there's going to be no love for some of those mediocre Stern games. Mediocre to some. I know I said some rough things about Transformers. I actually do kind of like the game. I have a soft spot for it, but it's not super highly thought of. But as they fix the code, and I don't know, I don't think it's not a dog. Transformers is not on the D list. I think there's some good stuff there. But if it's me, all things equal, one or the other, I take the Shadow. Because only the Shadow knows, or whatever he said back in the olden days. Also in the market subforums, we have pinball machines for sale. Let's see what the top thing for sale is right now. For sale, price reduced, Whitewater Custom, home use only, The Simpsons Pinball Party, and home use only, Family Guy Expo delivery. Pinball Fuel from Milwaukee is bringing these games to Expo. Great place to buy a game. I read all sorts of stories of people buying games. So, man, $5,500 for a Whitewater. That's a fun game for me for about 5 minutes, and then I'm sick of it. I don't understand the love for Whitewater and how it has skyrocketed up into these prices. Interesting. Home use only Family Guy Chrome custom Chrome package. $5,500, sale pending, so it looks like he's getting that. That, to me, that's another one. That's a lot of money for Family Guy. And then home use only Simpsons Pinball Party with mods, 77 actual plays, asking $5,000. I think that's probably the value of his three there. That's an interesting post. Simpsons Pinball Party was a game that I think a year and a half ago was getting all sorts of love and props and play. Obviously, being such a deep game, I think that people get bored with what's out there at any given time, or if maybe a couple games come out that they're not thrilled with, they start looking what's already been built that has a lot of depth to it that might keep them coming back for more, and the Simpsons Pinball Party is definitely in that category. I won't get down into the parts for sale and such like that. Let's jump back out to the main subforums. Let's go into manufacturers. In the Stern Pinball subforum, the top thread is Star Trek Arrived Impressions by Markmon in Hillsboro in Oregon. And he writes, so I got my Star Trek Pro today, my impressions. The game has the best shot flow I have ever seen. First, I love Spider-Man, perhaps my all-time favorite game. This layout is similar, but there's some major differences. This game shoots like AC/DC, but with a third flipper. The ramps are easy backhands with wide openings. It's extremely easy to flow shots. Spider-Man shots are way tighter. The upper flipper ramp shot is quite smooth, and getting combos to this is similar to, say, No Fear. I actually thought that when I looked at the layout. The risk is that you really get the ball moving and may lose it when you miss. There were no cheap drains like AC/DC. The game is so smooth. I think layout polish-wise, this is Steve Ritchie's best work. I can't stress enough how easy and fun it is to flow the shots. There are several very satisfying shots here. Can't wait to play it. There's one local. I should have been there last night. I may go tomorrow. If I go tomorrow, I might drop in and do a short episode of the show just on my thoughts on the game, because I am very excited myself to play it. So go check out the Stern thread if you want to read Mark Mon's full comments, because he goes pretty deep into it. I like his review. He thinks the ship moves more than the ship from Attack from Mars. He likes the speaker panel, says it looks nice in person. He says the new hinge bolts are a hassle. Took a long time to get the left ones to line up to go in. Bolts are in a goodie bag. Speaker panel folds out, way nicer than older games, and is easy to put back in without too much fiddling. Good time. Sounds like he sold his Pro already to order an LE. So he's into it. There's a big, huge endorsement for Star Trek. That's it. That's all. Gotta be done. I'm tired. I think you can tell. Subpar performance on my part. A little scattered tonight, so I apologize. It's busy at work right now, getting into the holiday season, and stuff and things and happenings and events. So thank you guys for sticking with me. I appreciate the comments. Keep them coming. Gonna do episode 33 as soon as I possibly can. If there's anything you're looking to ask me or want to know about, Coast2Coast Pinball at gmail.com is your best bet. That's COAST 2, the number 2, Coast2Coast Pinball at gmail.com. Check out our website where all the episodes are posted through the Stitcher Radio app. Our image gallery I accidentally deleted like a fool yesterday morning, so I've been trying to piece that back together, and then I put a blog up there with each episode having its own post, so if you guys want to argue, discuss, or tell me what I messed up, you have your forum to do so. Follow me on Twitter at C2C Pinball, all that good stuff. There will be nothing fun and cool and crazy at the end of this episode. I'm tired, it's late, I want to go to sleep, so sorry. We'll see you in episode 33. Take care.